Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to make this tote bag that has been trending all over TikTok, at least here in Nigeria.
So for your materials, you're going to be needing canvas fabric, and this is half a yard. You're not going to need more than half a yard for this tote bag, at least for the measurements that I'm going to be using. And then you're going to need your lining fabric. I also used about half a yard, though this is more than that, but you're not going to be needing more than half a yard. You're going to get this cotton ropes. This is the one we're going to twist to make our straps. You're going to need eyelets. Okay, so I actually got a comment that these are gourmets. So gourmets, eyelets, we call them eyelets here in Nigeria, right? Whatever. So far it serves your purpose here. And then I'm going to be using, for my closure, I'm using magnetic snaps. You can also do zips but for this particular tote bag, I'm just going to be using magnetic snaps. So it has two parts. The eyelets also have two parts as well. So you have the male part and the female part, yeah. And what else? Okay, so you're going to need your prints. This is my prints. Now you can get this done wherever at a print shop where they offer borderless prints. I'm going to show you how I came about my image and what I did to it before sending it over to my printer. So let's get into making the bag.
So to get my image, I went into my Pinterest app and I clicked on the search bar and I searched for Black women art. You can see it in my history because it's the time I use to get the images I want, because I want to go for that kind of vibe. So once you type that, you're going to see several different images that you can download and just use for your prints. So I eventually picked this image for my prints and then I saved it to my phone and I imported it to Canva. So once I had my image imported to Canva, I'm just going to resize it. I clicked on the three dots up there and I clicked on resize. I changed the measurement to inches and then I just typed in the measurement I wanted. For my width, I wanted 18 inches, and for the height, I wanted 13.5. That's the size of the front panel of my bag. So I just typed in that measurement. Then I just click copy and resize, and it just resizes your picture to that measurement. So once it's done resizing, I opened it up and basically this is what it looks like. Now you can see we have some white spaces at the sides rather. I'm going to fix that by using the magic expand function. You get. So I'm just going to click on Magic Studio. I'm going to click on the magic expand, and then I'm going to click it to fit the page basically, and it's just going to expand it. So I'm just waiting for it to load now. You can see it has expanded my image nicely. Everything is fitting properly to the measurement that I want. So once that is done, I'm just basically going to download my image in PNG form. And that is basically it. That's what I did to the image before sending it over to my printer. So now to start our bag, you're going to be starting off with two rectangles. The measurement is 18 inches for the width and 13.5 inches for the height. Then you're going to take your print and iron it onto one part. That part where ironing it on is going to be the front panel basically. So I'm just going to place my print on the fabric. I'm going to place my Teflon paper to protect it from the heat, and then I'm going to use my iron to just transfer the print onto the fabric. So after ironing, I'm going to let it cool for some minutes, and then I'm just going to peel off that transparent film, and basically you have your print transferred to your fabric. So you have to be very careful. Make sure it cools properly. If it doesn't cool properly, it's not going to peel off as well as it should. So once that is off, you have your printed fabric and we're ready to continue with our bag. Now what we are doing next, at the bottom corners of both panels, you're going to measure out a square 1.5 by 1.5. So once we have that square measured out on both sides, we're simply going to cut it out. So after this, you cut out your lining fabric, and the lining fabric, the height is going to be 12 inches while the width is also going to be 18 inches. The only difference from the main fabric is that it is 1.5 inch shorter. And then you're going to need your facing. The facing is going to be 18 inches in width by 1.5 inch height. So the next step is to place your lining fabric and the facing right sides together and just stitch it together at the top. So you're placing them right sides together, both lining pieces and both facing pieces. You place them right sides together, and then you're going to just stitch them together. So this is what your lining is going to look like once you've attached the facing to it. We're going to place it right sides together, and at the base we're going to sew it closed by 1 inch on both sides of the base, just 1 inch. We're leaving that space closed so we can turn our bag right sides out once we're done. So we're going to also place the main panel right sides together, and we're going to close the base entirely with our stitch. So once we are done doing that, we're going to place our main panel and the lining panel right sides together, and we're going to stitch it together at the upper parts, the top parts of both of them. We're going to stitch them close together. So you place them right sides together and stitch at the upper parts. So once we are done sewing the tops, we're going to flip it, and then we're going to sew the sides of the lining panel and the main panel. We're also going to connect our corners with a stitch as well. So once that is done, we're going to, through the space that we left on the lining, we're going to turn our bag right side out. So our next step will be to install our magnetic snap, and we're going to mark the center of our bag on the facing. We're going to mark out the center on the facing, and on that center we're just going to install both parts of our magnetic snap on both sides. So once we're done installing our magnetic snap, we're going to fold in the raw edges on our lining, and we're just going to top stitch that closed. So this is what your bag should look like once you're done installing your magnetic snap and closing up your raw edges. And then we're just going to go in to make our straps. Okay, so I've got my cotton ropes here. I'm just going to tape down the edges. I folded it into two. This is about 3 yards. I think we're not going to use the entire 3 yards. There's still going to be a little bit of excess left, but I'm just going to hold down the top with a tape, and then I'm going to twist it to the length that I need. I ended up using about I think 36 inches, so I just trimmed off the excess. So once I'm done making my strap, I'm going to mark out 5 inches from the side and half an inch from the top of my bag. That part is where I'm going to be installing my eyelets. Once I'm done marking out the holes for the eyelets, I'm just going to go in with my hole puncher and hammer to create the holes where the eyelets are going to pass through. Now the holes should connect through like the main body panel and the facing panel. So I'm just going to install my eyelets once I'm done making the holes, and I'll put links in the description box where you can get these materials that I used in this video. So I'm sorry guys, I lost some footage, but I've already installed my eyelets on all on the front and the back panels, and I've inserted one strap. I'm just going to show you how I did the second one. So basically I just inserted the twisted strap and I tied it into a knot. That's basically all you have to do. So again, the length of my strap was a total of I think 36 inches. So I just basically inserted the strap into the eyelets and then I tied off the edges. That was all I did. So I have my strap all knotted and it's looking very nice already. I just trimmed off the black threads that are coming out of the strap. I wanted it to just be the white ends showing. So I trimmed that off and that was it. My tote bag is ready. So this is the final product. I hope you love it, and please don't forget to subscribe. Check the description box for links to where you can get your materials, and see you all in the next video. Bye.